Hello everyone, welcome back to vectordream. My name's Anthony and today I'm joined with my daughter Ava. We just got back from MeepleCon 2018 this last weekend. We filmed a bunch of interviews and some gameplay footage, so we hope you enjoy that. Also, keep in mind any games that you might see in some of these interviews are prototype components. And lastly, stay tuned till the end of the video because we're going to share with you what our favorite games were that we played at this year's MeepleCon. So thanks for watching and hope you enjoy the video.
Hi everyone, I'm Ava and I'm here at the Eastside Canneria Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I'm at the 2018 MeepleCon. So let's go inside and see what's happening. Alright, so now we're over with IELLO Games. Can you introduce yourself really quick?
Sure, I'm Danny. I'm the sales manager for IELLO.
Alright, hi Danny. So, you guys have been with MeepleCon for the past 4 years, right? Since the very beginning.
Yeah.
So, we wanted you to tell us a little bit about the games you're displaying today.
Yeah, no problem. So, the most exciting game we have here, my favorite for the entire year, is called Decrypto. It's right here. So this is a team party game. If we're on the same team, we're looking at 4 secret words in our screen. I need to try to give you a 3-digit code by giving you clues related to the 4 secret words. Okay? Once I tell you the clues, you're going to write down your number guess. And then the other team is trying to intercept the code based on the previous round's clues. So if you intercept twice, you win. If we miscommunicate, though, if I give you a clue that's just off the wall and you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about, and you give the incorrect code twice, then we lose. So it's pretty fun.
What's your most popular game so far?
Ever is King of Tokyo, like without a doubt. You've likely heard of it. It's a dice rolling, brawling, punch your neighbor type of game. We've sold over 1 million copies worldwide. It's been translated into over 25 different languages. So, yeah, by far.
Awesome. Any new stuff that's out just this year?
Yeah, so we've got a couple things releasing this year. We've got Fairy Tile, which is right over here. This is a tile laying and storytelling game. You're trying to be the first one to tell your story, aka accomplish all of your secret goals. So everyone has a deck of cards, that's your storybook. Each time you accomplish the goal, which has to do with the characters and also the terrain of the map, you tell your story, you read the story on the page. So whoever does that first wins. So we also have this game, The Legend of the Cherry Tree that blossoms every 10 years. I just call it Cherry Tree because it's kind of a mouthful. But this is a set collection and push your luck game. But instead of using cards, what we're using are these flower petals. These very cute beads. Okay? So on your turn, you're going to draw randomly, blindly, these flower petals from the bag. You have three pulls on your turn, and you can pull up to 8 flower petals. It's push your luck though, because if you draw 5 different colors or 3 of the same, like I just did, then you've busted, right? You've pushed your luck. Say that was a valid pull. You'd split up your petals between the front and the back of your screen. In front of your screen, it's simple set collection. So, for example, the more blues you have, the more points you have. Okay? Behind your screen, though, at the end of the game, we're going to separate the flowers into warm and cool colors, and whoever has the most will get different points. Okay? It's open information. You know exactly what I've drawn, right? And you'll see how I put them behind my screen, except that white and black are jokers. So behind your screen, you don't know what decisions I'm going to make about how to split them up. So there's actually a good deal of tension at the end of the game, a very dramatic reveal of your flowers, which is very nice for a 20-minute game.
All right, thank you so much for your time, Danny, and make sure to check out IELLO Games. Thank you. Hi Hi, we're here with Darren, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his game Ignite today. So, hi, thank you for being with us.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, can you tell us a little bit about your game here?
Yeah, so it's a deck builder. The main complaint people have against deck builders is that they sort of feel like solitaire. There's not a lot of player interaction. So I put as much player interaction into Ignite as I could, so it's actually a battling deck builder. So every person starts with 3 miniatures. This is a little bit bigger than it would be. It's just a prototype 3D printed version. And each miniature has 3 hit points. So when you take a point of damage, you actually insert a dagger into the back of the miniature to show that it's taken a point of damage. So like all deck builders, you start with pretty mediocre cards. So you start with 5 marches, 4 daggers, 3 old wooden shields, shuffle them up, and you draw 6. Now, as an experienced deck builder like yourself, you know that getting rid of cards in a deck builder is just as important as getting new cards. So, if you're able to pan over here, in the middle of the board, there is a 2x2 section called the Bazaar. The Bazaar, if you get to it, you can actually sell them a card. Selling a card means that you're able to trash it and you get its cost rather than its economic value for that turn. So if I sold this one, I would get 3, and then I could use these ones for its economic value to go 4, 5, and buy some card worth 5. So over here, you can see all of the different artwork. You play with 16 of the cards. So something like this, you play Dominion style, where there's piles of 10 on each one. But I've laid out all of the initial 50 cards just so you can get a look at how nice the artwork is and show it off a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'll ask you, are you more of a magic person, a melee person, or a ranged person?
I am definitely more of a melee person.
Melee person? Awesome. So we'll go through an example turn of what something might look end game, an end game turn might look like. So you'll be playing as the Mighty Dwarves, all right? So every race in this game has an asymmetrical race ability. That means everyone has a special ability that's unique to them, just to make you feel special and to increase the replayability of the game. So yours is that if you hit someone with a melee attack, they gain an extra point of damage. So you're super mighty.
Oh yeah, I like that.
So you drew these 6 cards, and on this map, this is again just a prototype, you are right here and here, and right here. So those are your 3 units. You've still got 3 guys on the board, so good job. We're going to use a chariot first. Chariot allows you to move 2 adjacent units up to 3 spaces each, as long as they stay adjacent the whole time, sort of like an actual chariot. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, and now you're within striking range of this poor elf. So you're going to hit him with a javelin, which will bring him up to 3 damage, which is his max. So you would actually take the elf's miniature, again this would be a miniature, as a trophy. A trophy is a victory point at the end of the game. Again, that increases player interaction because it incentivizes people to be attacking each other. So you still got 4 cards left, so you could buy something really nice, but we're actually going to go and try and get more victory points. So we're going to use a conditioning. Conditioning allows you to move up to 2 spaces. We're actually just going to move 1 in between these 2 lovely ladies. We're then going to hit the Fallen Valkyrie with a Full Moon Axe, which does 2 damage to her, and so she would be taken as a trophy as well. And we'll use a Blessed Spear on the Kitsune, which does 2 damage to her, and we would take her as a trophy as well. Lastly, we have a Throw Weapon. This has come into our hands a couple of times. We've never really used it, so we're actually going to sell it to the Bazaar, since we're still in the Bazaar, in order to buy a card that's more useful for us. So in this example, we didn't really use the terrain much, so I'll explain what some of the terrain is.
Yeah, sure.
So water carries electricity and freezing, so if it gets hit with an electricity attack here, it'll actually carry through and hit your unit all the way over here.
Oh, that's interesting.
So you've got to be careful about where you place your units, but you have to be in or near water in order to use certain water spells. Forest, like where you started your turn, I'll reset it to where you started, protect you from ranged attacks like a thrown javelin, an arrow, a catapult, things like that. However, the forests are super susceptible to fire, so if one of the forest spaces gets hit with a fire attack, everyone inside will gain a damage.
I see.
And then lastly, there's lava. Lava's pretty simple. If you get pushed into lava, you die.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Oh, okay.
So we're kickstarting late 2018. You can sign up to receive email notifications of when we kickstart. on our website, gingersnapgaming.com. We'll also sign you up for our week of Kickstarter giveaway. We're giving away one Kickstarted board game every day of the week for a week as a way to say thank you for people giving us a shot. So, yeah, thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you for interviewing with us today. Make sure to check out Darren's game Ignite on Kickstarter. All right, now we're here with Jason, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his game Oathen, so take it away.
Okay. So it's an arena combat board game that is inspired by a genre of video games called esports. If you're not familiar with esports, it's okay. For the most part, I'll kind of explain some of the mechanics and how they work. So it uses unique character decks. So whatever character you choose to play, you'll have a deck of 20 cards that are all specific to that character. So they have their own play style that's specific to them. They've got abilities that are specific to them. And it's not a deck builder. It's not something where you're drawing cards. You get access to your whole deck every single round. So you're choosing which abilities you're playing that round. Now, there's different kinds of abilities that are in here. There's some where they can be comboed together to kind of like augment the attack and make them stronger, or add different effects to it. You've got instant cards, so things that you can play like if it's your turn or somebody else's turn, to kind of move around the arena faster, or like counterattack and things like that. Now, when you play ability, at the end of the round, there's a number that's on the bottom left corner. That's the cooldown of the card. So at the end of the round, you've got your cards that you played that round. They're then going to go up onto this cooldown track. So we'll say that these are the 4 cards that I played for the round. At the end of the round, all the cards are going to shift 1. Each round they're going to shift at the end of the round. So eventually, after that round, these are going to shift again. Then these are going to shift. These 2 cards are going to go back into your deck, and then you can play them again that round if you wanted to. So the more powerful the ability, the larger the cooldown number, so they'll end up kind of higher on the track, and then they kind of shift down. Now, the arena itself, this is all modular, so these are different randomized tiles. So every single time that you play, they're going to be in different positions. You'll have tiles that they weren't even in the last couple of times that you played. And these are all different environmental effects. So when your character enters a space, you'll flip that tile over, and that's then in effect for the rest of the arena match.
Can you tell us a little bit about these tiles?
Yeah, so there's beneficial tiles. So you've got some that are, might be something that gives you an extra card that you can play that round. There's some that are negative. So for example, like the star trap here, if you enter that space, you get a root condition. You're kind of stuck there for a bit. There's also some neutrals. So like this is oil trail. If you move into that space, you actually continue movement into the next space. And then there's a lot of just kind of barren locations, which is nothing special. So as you're playing, the arena might change kind of how you're actually playing your combat. Maybe you wanted to move and then you hit the oil trail and you move an additional space. That might be beneficial. Maybe it puts you actually closer into range of your enemy. Or it could be something where you land up on Grim Lake, and Grim Lake reduces all the damage that you deal while you're on that space by 1. So depending on kind of how the arena is, you might end up in a trap. So you could also use it to your advantage. So you might have something where you can like shove somebody into one of those spaces.
How devious.
Yes.
What are these characters here?
So these right now these are just demo minis. You can actually buy these same minis in gaming stores. They're called Reaper Bones. But for the actual game, I'm having actual minis done for each of the characters. So each character gets their own unique mini. There's some characters that have different minions and stuff that they can bring out. So in the base box, one of the characters is the Reaper, and he's got a mini. One of the things that he can bring out is called a Haunt. And he'll be able to play abilities from his body or his Haunt. So as he moves them, they kind of move independently. And then when he plays an ability, he can play it from either one to kind of make sure that somebody's in range. You can kind of position yourself or your minion so that even if they try and move and run away, they're still in range of the ability that you're playing.
That's awesome. Is there anything else we wanted to talk about before we wrapped up the interview?
I think the very last thing is that it's more so kind of a sandbox game. So there's multiple game modes, and they all play very differently. So this is set up for like Arena, which is like a death match, but there's like a Capture the Flag, a King of the Hill. There's a pure cooperative game mode, so everyone's actually working together to kind of beat like a boss. And in the base box, there's these 6 characters behind me. But I've been working on it for 4 years, so there's the 6 characters, and again, they all play unique. They've got their own deck of abilities, but there's actually 30 characters in total. just as kind of expansion content. So there's healers, there's tanks, there's support classes, different types of damage dealers. So when you're doing like a team versus team match, you can really kind of coordinate with your team of like, okay, you want to play the assassin, like, okay, I'm going to play this healer because that works good with the assassin.
Yeah, sounds awesome.
Yeah, so you can really get into that team composition.
All right, awesome. When are you going to be kickstarting?
It's going to be anytime between June or July. I'm still trying to decide on the final date, but it'll be between those 2 months.
Awesome. So make sure to check out Oathen on Kickstarter. Thank you. Now we're here with Shawn, the founder of Shawn Solo Games, and he's going to tell us a little bit about Amasser Dragons.
You got it right. Good job. So Amasser Dragons is a game that lets you play as a dragon. There's a total of 10 dragons in the game. The version I have set up here is set up with just 2 dragons, the gold dragon and the blue dragon. Now each dragon, as you can see on this card here, has its own attack power, speed, how much gold it can carry, along with special abilities. At the start of the game, these tiles all get laid randomly face down. The dragons will fly out of their lair to these encounters. Turn it up, take a look at it, decide if they want to fight it or not. If they do, you'll roll the dice. If the dragon wins, they get this much gold. So once the dragons have gone through the entire area and taken out all the encounter tiles, the game ends. The dragon with the most gold wins. So it was my concept. You always see dragons with a lot of gold, but you never see how they get it.
Yeah.
There are 110 cards that come in the game. And they do a variety of things like item cards and dragon riders that help strengthen your dragon, to cards that you can use to mess with other players, which is always the best part of any game.
Yeah.
A dragon with too much ale doesn't fight as well. This card will let you change the outcome of dice. A dragon pox, you can use that on another player and it'll slow them down. Dragons don't fly as well whenever they're itchy.
Awesome.
The Itch Your Hatch Day card will let you go back through the discard pile and pull a card back into your hand. The Dragon Fanny Pack, not only stylish, but it helps you carry extra gold. Then you have the Steal card, which will let you steal gold from another player. Some of the encounters might be too difficult. For example, I have this card is the hardest one in the game, and it was based off some guys I used to play Pathfinder with. I threw them in the game. I used to Dungeon Master for them, yeah. So if some of the encounters are too difficult, you might want to just play the I win button, and you don't have to roll dice. Now, if someone tries to do something bad and you want to stop it, there's always the good, oh no you didn't card. You got to wag your finger with some sass when you do it too.
Nice name.
Yeah. So this is the rule set for it. It's only 4 pages long, so it's not hard to pick up and learn. And it's also modular, so I can make the game bigger or smaller depending on how long of a game I want to make.
Awesome.
So as you can see over there, that's everything that comes boxed in the game. This is what I recommend for sizes, so I could play 2 players on a bigger board or more players on something smaller if I wanted. So it's very customizable for the length of game that you want to play. So that's a very, very quick nutshell of the game. So
that's awesome. Do you have any kind of website that people can go to check out your stuff?
I have on, you can go to AmasserDragons.com or ShawnSoloGames.com. Both of those will take you to the website. There's a lot of stores in town that sell the game, like Meepleville has it, and some of the other stores in town sell it.
Yeah.
So that's the place they can find it.
All right, and I have one last question for you. Which is your favorite dragon to play?
My favorite dragon, ever since I was a kid, I started playing Dungeons and Dragons when I was 8 years old. The Red Dragon is my favorite.
The Red
Always
Dragon?
has been, yeah.
All right, Red Dragon all the way.
Red Dragon.
Make sure to check out Shawn's website and check out Amasser Dragons. We're here with ESC Toy, and we're going to learn a little bit about 9DKP. Can you introduce yourself?
I'm Bernadette. I'm the brand manager at ESC Toy.
Awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about 9DKP?
So 9DKP, it means 9 deadly cat points, and basically it's a trading card game in which you collect these cat points, and then you use them to play down your characters, and then you have different factions. So you have cats versus survivors versus zombies. So it's an all-out apocalypse war.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. All right, can you tell us about what this trophy is for?
So since our release, we've had a couple of different tournaments. We've been going from convention to convention, and we've had a lot of players pick up the game and then enter into these grand tournaments. And so we give them the trophy, but also the winners of the games, we make them into a card. in the game. We actually have one of our previous winners here. I think he has his card if you're interested in seeing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So.
All right, let's go over and see it. All right, and here we are with Chris. He's going to show us his special card from winning the 90KP tournament.
Yeah, so when you win first place, you get to create your own card, and they have like an artist go over it and like make these really cool designs. You kind of like tell them what you want, and they have really nice effects. They make you better at the game, and other people can play you for them. So it's really nice. Mine is it's pretty good. Definitely my favorite card. I got exactly what I wanted on it, and it was definitely worth entering the tournament.
That's awesome.
So
yeah, can we see a close-up of it?
Yeah, sure.
All right, thank you so much for your time, Bernadette.
No problem.
All right, and check out 90KP. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. We're here with the founders, Timm and Dave. And I wanted to ask you guys, so why did you create MeepleCon?
Well, basically, we just two guys that love to play games, and that's kind of how it started out. And we just kind of talked one day and said, you know what, why doesn't Las Vegas have a board game convention? We're the convention capital of the world, right? Yeah. So we just decided that, you know what, we don't know why, but we were going to try to make it happen, and that's kind of how it started.
Awesome. Also, obviously, it's very, very successful. I mean, you're in your 4th year. How many people are you expecting to come to this?
We were expecting 600 this year, and I think we came close to that.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
we have the Dice Tower guys here and a lot of other different people. So we're really happy with the turnout.
Yeah,
really
that's
good.
awesome. Are you guys going to keep it here at the Eastside Cannery, or are you thinking of relocating?
Well, eventually, if we keep growing, we hope that we have to get a bigger place. That's the goal. Yep. So
hopefully.
Have to see what the future holds.
And I also wanted to ask, what about the sponsors? What kind of vendors do you have this year?
Well, some of the major ones we have IELLO, of course, makers of King of Tokyo. We have Mayday. We have R&R Games. Who else do we have? We have, I'm trying to see. We got DKP with the collectible card game. We have a lot of other smaller vendors here. Foam Brain is a big convention vendor, so they're here with us too.
Even some local stores like Little Shop of Magic are here.
Yeah, Blue Panther. And a lot of these people have been with us since year 1, right? Maybe so. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for being interviewed with us today. We hope that MeepleCon goes on for many years to come, and thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, everyone, welcome back. Here we are at the end of the video. As promised, we wanted to share with you our favorite game. So, Ava, what was your favorite game this year that you played?
I gotta say that I wasn't expecting it to be my favorite game, but Belfort, it's called Belfort, Belfort. And it's really interesting. It's an area control game and worker placement game. There's different guilds that you can tap into, and there's different resources that you can acquire, and the goal at the end of the game is just to have the most control over the districts and get the most points. So it's really interesting, and I thought it was really fun. Unexpectedly fun.
Awesome. Yeah, I saw you playing that and I was like, what is that game? But yeah, that's cool. I would have to say without a doubt my favorite game was called Too Many Bones. It's a 1 to 4 player game, and I was just really excited about the idea of using the poker chips as, instead of miniatures, you have a stack of poker chips for the monsters and actually the characters themselves. And I thought the components were just really nice. Everything flowed really well gameplay wise. I really liked how you have the neoprene mats for the characters, and you have slots for all the dice that you can put your skills into and all that, and you earn new skills as you play. It was a really well done game, and now I really have to seek that one out probably. So that was my favorite game this year at MeepleCon 2018. But anyways, thanks for watching. We appreciate it, and have a great day. All right, until the next one.